Thank you for staying with Your World. My name is Gladys Gashande, and we are now shifting gears to take a look at some of the circumstances out there and also opportunities in making businesses have a new lease of life, especially in this pandemic. And somebody who has invested in this is Mesha Lois, who is the CEO, founder, board director at Sendy Limited Kenya. Thank you for your time. All right, so you have been in the actually ICT company or background. Why Sendy?
I mean, Sendy was out of necessity. So we are a tech company based here in Nairobi. Offices in Nairobi, Kampala, and now Cote d'Ivoire as well, in Abidjan. And Sendy, the reason Sendy is based on our own experiences, having been in this space in the last couple of years. And what Sendy does is we provide businesses an app where they push a button, a vehicle comes, picks their goods magically, and takes them to their customers. That's Sendy.
Okay, and Sendy, in this case, when you talk about the vehicle, it is a what? A motorbike?
So it is a motorcycle, it is a van, it is a pickup, it's a huge truck across the country, across the borders. And who knows, maybe in future we'll be doing it on drones.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. So you got into the business way before even the pandemic came around. What
Yeah.
are these gaps that you saw?
So the gaps that we saw, if you look at Kenya, East Africa, and also Africa as a whole, so you'll find most logistics players have between 1 to 3 vehicles. So as a business, when you're trying to move your goods to your customers, you have to typically deal with multiple suppliers. So you keep a list of 20, 25, up to 50 suppliers, so you have to call every single morning. Or if it's motorcycle, I mean, there's no motorcycle company here that has 200 or 1,000 motorcycles that can actually use to transport goods. So then what we did is we brought these guys all together on one platform. You push a button, gets your vehicle comes, a motorcycle comes, and then delivers those goods to your customers. Yes.
And what informed the markets you launched into?
So what informed the markets we launched to, primarily driven by our customers. So most of our customers that we work with here in Kenya are also in the countries that we are in today. So primarily driven by that, but also by the opportunity that we see across the continent. Yeah.
Okay, and which of these industries stand out for you? Which are your best customers?
So 3 industries, and it's interesting that these 3 industries are also the key drivers of our economies, not just in Kenya, East Africa, but also across the continent. So one is consumer goods. So if you have suppliers, manufacturers of consumer goods, that's an industry that stands out for us. The other industry is agriculture. So we do a lot of farm inputs. So we help most companies transport farm inputs, fertilizers to farmers, but also the farm produce as well back to the markets. The other industry that stands out for us is e-commerce. So that's growing, not just the e-commerce, not the big e-commerce companies, not just the big e-commerce companies that you might know of, but also the smaller ones. There's many businesses that sell on WhatsApp, sell on Facebook, sell on Instagram. We actually help them deliver those goods to their customers. So think about it. You find a young person straight out of university or college, they start a small business selling either shoes or cosmetics right from their house. They have the channels, the tools, the social networks, the Facebooks, the Instagram to sell. And Sendy does the delivery and also a payment collection for them. Yeah.
All right, and so how can I be part of Sendy? What do you normally look at for you to engage?
Yeah, so we're a two-sided market. So we have the transporter side or the riders as well. So if you have a vehicle, if you're a motorcycle rider, we pre-vet you, we train you, you join our platform. After that, we present you to customers. So customers are able to, whether you're a fast-moving consumer good company, agriculture, dealing in farm inputs, or e-commerce company, you get on a platform. It's an app, or you go to our website, sendy.com. And from there, you push a button, a vehicle will come to you, you'll track it throughout the journey.
Okay, it looks like you had seen the pandemic coming, and set yourselves right. But how has the pandemic catapulted your business?
Actually, our business has grown during the pandemic, and it has grown because we have actually helped businesses be able to basically stay afloat. I mean, right now, as there's lockdowns, there's curfew and all that, restaurants, for example, are not able to open open for dining. And what we do is we provide these motorcycles, we provide these vehicles to be able to deliver these goods to these customers. But what's most exciting is we've been able to, for drivers who are on our platform, we've been able to give them income to continue earning a living off our platform, which is very exciting, something that at Sendy we hold very dearly. Yeah.
Okay, and you are also, as you said, coming to bridge a gap for businesses out there. In as far as what they get back from you, what is the feedback you get?
The feedback we get is businesses are now able to scale faster. So as a business now, you don't have to, with Sendy, you don't have to own your vehicle. So a business that just set up or is just in the growth phase, what we now do is you focus on your core business, focus on whatever you're manufacturing, whatever you're supplying. When it comes to now getting those goods to your customers, you basically scale with us as fast as you can. You don't have to buy new vehicles, which is also quite expensive to do or capital intensive to do. So we give that to you, so we allow you to scale. The other thing, it's very affordable. I mean, for some businesses, we've been able to reduce their cost to serve their customers or to deliver goods to their customers by over 40%. So again, affordability comes there. And then last, it's reliability. So you know that if you push a button on Sendy, your goods are going to get to your customers as they are. Yeah.
And how do you ensure that that is actually safeguarded?
Yeah, so good. So two things. One is, the first thing is we vet all the drivers that come on our platform. So we do all the background checks, we vet them, we look at the vehicles and motorcycles before they're on our platform. So that's a first piece. The second piece is we have insurance on top of that. So if anything goes wrong, then you're rest assured as a Sendy customer that you'll be compensated for any loss that happens in between your premise and your customers' doorsteps. Yeah.
Okay, and if you want to compare the Kenyan market with other markets you're in, how are we faring?
I think Kenya, from an adoption perspective, I think we're still far ahead, and I think the opportunity is here for us, and that's why actually we're headquartered here in Nairobi. I mean, we have the talent here from a technology perspective. I mean, Nairobi is going to be a hub for technology companies in the near future, and there's an amazing talent here in Nairobi. All our engineers, I mean, as a tech company, all our engineers sit here in Nairobi, come from, most of them, I would say 95%. Are from Kenya. So from that perspective, like we are far ahead. Of course, the likes of M-Pesa also helps, because then from a payment perspective and also adoption perspective becomes much easier, as opposed to the other markets where things like payments or mobile payments are still not as fast or growing as fast as here in Kenya. But I would say the lessons we're learning here, we're able to replicate that in these markets, the other markets that we are in. Yeah.
And speaking of best practices beyond the continent into the other world, how is that looking like?
Today we are focused in Africa. We want to make sure that we provide our solutions across the continent. We want to be the logistics platform across the continent. But we're also seeing what's happening globally. We're seeing what's happening in Europe, what's happening in the US, what's happening in Southeast Asia as well. And I think there is kind of like a revolution around logistics, and also just really decentralizing or devolving logistics in a way that enables everybody to participate. So in the past, you'll find big logistics companies are the only ones that would actually go and service some of these customers that we service today, big multinationals. But today we take someone on the roadside, we bring them on the platform, we take those best practices that this multinational logistics company will do, we train this person, and now they compete with the multinational. So that single person, that Mwangi Otieno who is on the roadside, now gets to compete with the multinational logistics companies.
And speaking of which, you said you use motorcycles, cars, vans, and even lorries.
Yeah.
Are these your assets, or are you like other companies that use other people's assets and just provide the platform?
So we provide the platform. We provide the platform. We don't own the vehicles today. So we have today over 10,000 or so vehicles across the markets that we are in. We don't own any of those, but we provide the platform to generate businesses for these drivers, motorcycles, lorries, and providing seamless service to our customers as well. Yeah.
So if I want to actually invest in you, want to give you my asset, whatever it is, how do I start this off?
So how you start that off, one is you register on our platform, very easy. You can provide us the details, what type of lorry you have or what type of motorcycle you have. After that, our team will get back to you with information on when our next training is. We'll evaluate, vet you. After that, we'll train you, and then you'll be on our platform and you start earning money on a weekly basis.
You mentioned that Kenya seems to be way ahead, compared to other markets. Are you surprised that we are doing so well in Kenya? Is this something that you had envisioned?
Before Sendy, I'd actually worked in a couple of countries helping multinational really set up their sales and distribution across the continent. And to be honest, I wasn't surprised, but really that was an opportunity for us. We're saying this is going to be the best place to start this company, this technology company, which will now make it easier for us to go into these other countries. Yeah.
It's interesting that you applaud Kenya so much, yet there's so many people who say doing business in this country is a bit difficult. What's different for you?
I mean, it's difficult. I really I can relate to that. It's difficult. I mean, there are things that we could do better. We're having these issues on taxes. I mean, in our space as well. You have now the new digital taxes as well. You have this new tax regime that is also coming, which is quite a challenge. And these are all new to us. They're new to the regulator. They're also new to us as well. So those are challenges that we see there. But I would say that within these challenges, we've been able to navigate and just try to be as resilient as possible. Of course, we can do better, but we've tried to be as resilient as possible.
Now, just to dig a little bit on your background, now that you said you've worked with different companies, I mean, you were named East African Young Entrepreneur to Watch in 2011. Today, you sit here as the CEO and founder of Sendy. What is this that catapulted you to this success?
What brought me here is right from college, I've always had this urge or this drive to really create tools that help people participate in the economy and build technology tools to be able to get people to participate in the economy. So make it easy for people to trade. And the reason I have this drive is I really believe that the opportunities are here in the continent, here in Kenya and East Africa and across the continent. The opportunities are there. So we just need to bridge that gap between this opportunity and earning a living. And that's where I'm passionate. I'm really passionate about those tools that really bridge that gap.
And we were just speaking about some of the industries that seem to be standing even within the pandemic, and ICT is one of them, artificial intelligence and agribusiness. What would you tell the young and those who are also changing or adopting other industries, even in this new market?
Yeah, I mean, I would say right now we're in a pandemic, it's a crisis. But again, if you look historically, if you look at the last 20 years, the businesses that you see today, the likes of Google, the likes of Facebook, the big businesses that you see today were actually started during either a recession, a crisis or so. So within this crisis, there's also opportunities for us to be able to create new tools, to be able to create new businesses as well, new business models as well. So I would actually encourage young people to really look at that, at this as an opportunity as well, and be able to create those business models that are possible during this particular time. In 10 years' time, I think if you and I have a chance to sit here again, we'll see that businesses that will be the largest businesses that will be there in those many years would have started during this time.
And speaking of 10 years, it's been 10 years and now you sit here as a CEO and founder. What are the things, perhaps the gaps in the system that made it a little bit difficult for you to get here, but some also that helped you get to where you are today?
So some of the challenges I would say we've had over the years, I would say 2 or 3 challenges. So one is, I would say from a talent perspective. We're creating a new business model, right? A business like Sendy hasn't existed in Kenya or in the continent before. So we're creating a new business model. And the challenge there is there's not enough talent that really understands what we're doing. So what we have to do is really do a lot of training there. So that's a challenge. That means we're not moving as fast as we'd want to. We're still moving as fast, don't get me wrong, but that talent, getting that talent that really understands this new business model is not there. So we have to do a lot of training. And I really do hope that as the businesses like Sendy, I mean, us having started Sendy, would really create that, would really spur that and create that talent base that will actually build the next businesses as well. So those are some of the challenges that we've got there. The other challenge we've seen is just from, I mean, things like, let's say we have drivers that we bring on the platform. We have to vet you before you're on our platform. We have to check your documentation and all that before you're on our platform. There's just no single way you can do that. I mean, if you go to other countries that are actually much more advanced, like in Southeast Asia, you can actually go on a single platform and verify everything about that particular driver or particular person. Here, it will take us a couple of days to be able to do that, which is unnecessarily long. But again, we've been able to build tools to be able to navigate that. Those are some of the challenges that we've seen there.
Okay, and there has been talk, and a lot of talk, especially in this season, about the value of partnerships. Is this something you're harnessing?
Absolutely. So value, I mean, from the very beginning, we've always looked at Sendy as being really highly driven by partnership. So the first partnership we set up is Safaricom, for example. So we're a partner with Safaricom. Safaricom is one of our very early shareholders, actually, in this industry. So that's a partner of ours. Most recently, we've also partnered with Toyota, and with Toyota, we're able to now help these drivers or partners or transporters be able to finance motorcycle, finance lorries as well on the platform as we help them earn a living. And various partnerships that we've been able to form across in the last couple of years to get us where we are today.
Okay, and still speaking about your accomplishments, what are you most proud of when you think about Sendy and the milestones you've made?
What I'm most proud of when I think about Sendy is we've been able to provide our drivers a decent income. We have thousands of drivers who wake up today in the morning, they power their phone, they push a button, and they start earning a living. That to be, if you told me that a couple of years ago that was going to be possible for thousands of drivers to be able to do that, and for us to be able to enable that, I would have told you probably I'm dreaming. But seeing that today, really proud of that, that we are able to do that. But also for businesses. I mean, today, a business, you wake up, you start a business, you don't worry about the distribution. You don't worry about how am I going to get this to my customers, because most of these businesses, they spend a lot in buying the vehicles or the motorcycles, then they actually invest in producing the products that they actually produce. And being able to eliminate that and make that seamless for them is something that we're really proud of. And lastly, something I'm also proud of is looking at last year during this pandemic. Almost every business was hit. People are wondering how now are we gonna, I mean, I can't have my staff, or I can't have people now walking around visiting customers or so. And for us as Sendy, just providing tools to be able to help them bridge that gap during that time and during this crisis. Really proud of what our team have been able to do.
Okay, and you mentioned that Kenya has a potential to be an innovation hub, ICT hub in this continent. What else needs to be done to ensure that this comes to reality and in turn enable businesses such as yours? Yeah,
so 3 things. I would say the first thing is training. So I think we need to really invest in our education. And when I say that, I say it succinctly by saying that just really teaching our new learners how to ask questions. I mean, right now the information is all out there. I mean, you go to the internet, you get every single information you want, but it really depends on the question that you're asking, right? So really investing in education to really teach new learners, teach the new group that is going to get into the job market. How do you ask questions? How do you critically think as well? And how do we get into this space as well? As you mentioned, tech is going to be a huge driver in the next couple of years, and we can't avoid it. We can't avoid it moving forward. So really training and getting resources around that. So that's one. 2 is just government being able to be out of the way and enable businesses to be able to thrive. Because if we're able to thrive, we're going to export this, and if we export this, that means more revenues coming into the country, and that means more taxes, and that means we're all growing. We're all basically growing as an economy. For Sendy, in future, in a couple of years, if we're able to help even the businesses that are here in Kenya sell to other countries as well, and we deliver to those countries or help them ship to those countries, that would be the kind of drivers that we'll be looking at. Yeah.
And speaking about the future, what do you have in the future for your markets?
We have in the future right now, we're looking at West Africa, starting with Cote d'Ivoire. So we just set up in Cote d'Ivoire. We're looking at those markets there. We're looking at Ghana. We're looking at Nigeria. And also just really expanding across East Africa. So today, yes, we have offices here in Kenya and Uganda, looking at the other countries. We're looking at Tanzania and also looking at the other smaller countries within the East Africa region, and really expanding across the continent thereafter. Yeah.
Now, some of the economy drivers, as you mentioned earlier, agribusiness, are normally saturated away from the urban centers.
Yeah.
So are we seeing Sendy outside the urban centers into the counties?
Absolutely. I mean, today we deliver to those counties. As I mentioned, one of the industries that we work with is on the agriculture side, and we help some of the businesses to deliver fertilizer, for example, to these counties and to these farmers. Our next phase is helping. We work with companies, for example, companies like Twiga, and we help them. We work together, we partner together to really help deliver also the farm produce from their customers back to the city as well, and to help them access those markets as well. So we're already there, and really will just double down in those counties as well.
Yeah. Now, just to go back on your background, you co-founded On Demand Mobile.
Yeah.
Was this one of the ways you had already seen this going to give, birth, so to speak, to Sendy?
Yeah. So my interest has always been in logistics, which tech logistics and payments. And before that, before Sendy, those are the areas, for example, you mentioned On Demand, that's in the payment space. So really spent a lot of time there before Sendy as well. And also before Sendy, really built a lot of solutions for the bus companies that you see here around. That was around 2009 or so. Built a lot of solutions there for the bus companies, the logistics companies that you see here around as well. So really I would say that was a preparation to what we're doing today.
Somebody is asking, would you say security is a concern for your business in this country?
Security, just tell me more about that.
Security, literally policing of what it is that you do, like making sure your goods get to where they're supposed to go.
Yeah. So that's a concern of ours. And actually, we fundamentally build a platform to be able to take care of that. So the first thing I mentioned is just making sure that we've verified and vetted all our drivers that are on our platform. So as opposed to you going to a random person walking by the roadside and giving the person your good, we basically give you someone who already is vetted. We can prove the identity also, and we have a digital record of every transaction that happens. So we'll know this is where this particular good is coming from. This is the person that is picking it. These are the GPS coordinates of this location. This is where it's going. It's going to. You can track it all through as well to where it's going. And then over and above that, we also add insurance on top of that.
Okay. Yeah. So even as we bring this conversation to a close, what is your perhaps brand promise to your customers today?
What we're promising our customers, Sendy, today is we're going to give them time to be able to do more. So we're going to take the headache of delivering their goods to their customers affordably and transparently in a scalable way, so that they're able to focus on their core business and be able to do more. For our drivers as well, our promise is really continuing to help them earn a living, so making sure that they earn a decent living, pushing more revenue to them, not just during this crisis, but also as we continue to grow. So really helping our businesses be able to do more.
So kindly reiterate, if somebody needed more information on how to invest in you or to be part of this, how do they reach you?
So as a customer, you just, if you want to try out Sendy, so just go to sendyit.com or go to the Play Store or Google App Store and download Sendy and push a button. I will send a vehicle, a motorcycle to pick your goods, deliver to your customer safely and affordably. If you have a motorcycle or you have a lorry or you have a van or a pickup and you want to be on our platform, also just go to sendyit.com, register. Within a couple of days, you'll be on your way to start earning a living.
Well said. Mesh Aloy, CEO, founder, board director at Sendy Limited Kenya. Thank you for giving us more insight on what Sendy, a logistical company, does in this country. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching Your World. My name is Gladys Gashanja. Remember, tomorrow we'll be back same time, same place, as we shed light on the social impact of COVID-19. Now, the impact of the third wave has had the government take stringent measures to curtail its spread, but has left a nation already grappling with tough economic times, as we mentioned earlier, desperate. So how best can this pandemic be handled with the welfare of Kenyans in mind? Victor Kiprop will steer that conversation from 7 a.m. See you then.